Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. Now, instead, this week of doing my regular BNA Football Weekly recap, I'm going to decide to retire for this week for a couple of reasons. First of all, I went 0-5 in my best bets, and if I'm giving you guys best bets, I want them to be right, so I'm going to take the L this week and just sit out. Also, there aren't too many interesting storylines. Today I'm going to do Cam Newton, which I'll talk about in about a minute, and then later I'm going to, tomorrow probably, I'm going to do my updated NFL predictions, see how I'm doing, and project my updated predictions, because they're kind of wrong, and I want to be rooting for something, and I want to say where I was wrong, where I was right, that sort of thing. So I may have an elongated video about that, may separate it into two parts, I don't know just yet, but let's get into the point of the video, which is Cam Newton. He's injured, he's on the injured reserve, and his foot is bad, I guess. That's no better way to put it. He's pretty much out for the season. He can come back in the playoffs in 8 weeks, but realistically, if the Panthers are in the playoffs, it's going to be because of Kyle Allen doing his job. And obviously he's a lot of surrounding pieces, but so they're not going to want to put him back. Plus, he's coming off an injury. He's really cold, and he wasn't really playing that well when he was relatively healthy. So there's that. I think they should shut him down. And he's relatively cheap. That's another thing. $19 million next year a team would have to pay. And the Carolina Panthers would save $19 million. And I think they're really going to be motivated to trade Cam Newton. I think that if the Panthers realize that Kyle Allen isn't the guy, they'll probably draft a quarterback pretty high next year. They also have a couple other quarterbacks in the room, like a Will Grier, that they could potentially work out. I think that the Carolina Panthers are in a position to sign some free agents as well. Obviously, they got Gerald McCoy this offseason with, I think, one more piece on defense. I forget. The offseason was a long, long time ago, and they have a lot of talent on this team. Obviously, they drafted Brian Burns, who's playing pretty well this year. So they're going to be really motivated to move off of Cam Newton. And what I usually do is give an updated position about what each team is going to look for. So first of all, the Bengals, they're going to be looking for a quarterback. They're going to draft a quarterback for Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor is going to have his pick of his guy pretty much, and they're going to move forward as an organization, start anew. I don't think unless Ryan Finley really surprises, I think that they're going to be trying to move off him. Maybe even trade AJ Green, because I don't think they're going to really sign a long-term contract. They're going to just go look to rebuild. And the Miami Dolphins, I made a video about this before. I think they should keep Josh Rosen and Ryan Fitzpatrick. There's a reason why Josh Rosen was a top 10 pick. He's a great talent. Ryan Fitzpatrick can do the job. He can teach Josh Rosen how to be a better quarterback, how to be a better leader, even though Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't quite like Peyton Manning-esque, But I think that they should just use their draft picks, get, Chase Young, get a great offensive tackle, because they'll have really high draft picks. They have the Steelers pick, who isn't as great as we thought it would be in the beginning of the season, but the Steelers are probably going to have a top 15 pick. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And then you also have the Houston Texans pick, who, if they don't make the playoffs either, if the Colts beat them out or something like that, they'd have a top 18 pick. So they have a chance to get 3 out of the top 20 picks. I think they're going to want to draft just talent. And once Joe Burrow goes down, I think they should just acquire talent, because there's a lot of missing pieces. This team is fighting hard, and that's the key to this team. They're fighting hard for Josh Rosen and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Tanking another year kind of is a little unmotivating, but I think they should stick with it and rebuild with Josh Rosen and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Then you also have the Buccaneers, who I think are going to franchise tag Jameis Winston and then draft a quarterback pretty high, to learn under Bruce Arians, because the Buccaneers are committed to Jameis Winston. He's not playing that bad. They're going to want to draft an offensive lineman to help Jameis Winston out. That's their goal this offseason, I think, and to help out the secondary. There are a lot more pieces missing than you would think. Then you also have the Washington Redskins, who are probably looking to keep Dwayne Haskins. The management picked this player. They picked Dwayne Haskins to succeed. They also have a lot of quarterbacks like Alex Smith that may want to make a return. They have a lot of assets like that. I think they're going to go full in on Dwayne Haskins. Obviously, the Giants have Daniel Jones. The Raiders think they have their guy. But the Minnesota Vikings, they're going into the last year of Kirk Cousins' guaranteed contract. I think they're going to draft the quarterback pretty high because they're talented everywhere else. They may draft another offensive lineman to get more depth there, but I think pretty highly they're going to draft a quarterback. So, Mike Zimmer is just like, you know what, I'm going to keep my job because I'm going to groom this quarterback. Or they may even extend Kirk Cousins. It really does depend how they do this year. Yeah, it really does depend. It'll be weird. Again, like the Bengals too. If Ryan Finley does really well, it's like they may not even draft a quarterback. That'd be a weird situation. Then you also have the Bears, who are sitting at 3-5, and Mitch Trubisky. He's the Bears are just trying to make him improve, but it's not really working. And Cam Newton, especially with his cheap contract and a lot of contracts that the Bears have. They have Khalil Mack. They're going to have to pay Akeem Hicks. They're going to have to pay a bunch of Johnny Trevathan, he's going to be free agent, but Bryce Callahan, Adrian Amos. They're going to not Adrian Amos. I have to think of the name. Clinton Dix. They're going to have to pay a lot of these guys top dollar because they've been performing. Tariq Cohen. Eventually these guys, their contracts are going to start to add up. And Cam Newton, $19 million. I'm not too sure, to be totally honest. I think that the Bears are going to potentially look to draft a guy in the first round, but again, they don't have a lot of picks. The Bears are in a bad situation. Everything I think is available. Quarterback in the first round, a trade. I think most likely it's going to be a trade with the Panthers, to be honest, if they do anything. Next, the Denver Broncos, who have Brandon Allen, Drew Lock, and Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, I think they can move out that contract pretty easy. Don't know the whole details of the contract, sorry. I'm not a cap genius. But Brandon Allen, come on. I mean, if he's great, it turns out he's great. I mean, he did beat the Browns. If he ends up being great, it'll be weird. But the Denver Broncos could potentially look for Cam Newton. Now, John Elway, he's an old school guy, you could say. John Elway is going to want to get a quarterback who's good and who he can be like Peyton Manning or Drew Brees. But, eventually, I think some owners like John Elway potentially could be like, you know what? Things haven't been working. I'm trying to get this white quarterback who's 6'5" for so many years. Let's just take a chance with Cam Newton, see if it works. And if not, I'm just going to give up. I think that could potentially happen. Plus, Cam Newton's kind of cheap. Again, $19 million. They're paying Joe Flacco, I think, $20 million based on his contract with the Ravens. But I'm not completely sure. And then, obviously, Drew Lock still needs a lot of improvement. He's injured right now. He hasn't really had a lot of reps, and you think next year he's going to get the starting job? Not too sure about that. And we'll just see how he looks towards the end of the year. Again, a lot of things can change. A lot of things can change before now and the end of the year, and a lot of things have changed in the past 2 months. Just think about it. We're thinking about, now the Patriots may be able to get Cam Newton, but I don't think so. You could say Josh McDaniels is a great offensive mind, and he could teach Cam Newton, but no offensive weapons, no offensive line. Isn't that the same thing that happened with the Panthers? That's my whole thought about it. Like, Tom Brady is built to succeed in here. He can get the ball out quick. Cam Newton isn't built to succeed in this type of offense. A lot of offensive linemen are coming back, and the Patriots offensive line coach, I forget his name. It comes and goes sometimes, but you could say they're going to piece together a great offensive line. And now they have N'Keal Harry, Mohamed Sanu. But things really do constantly change, and I don't think Cam Newton is built to succeed with the Patriots. The Jets, they have Sam Darnold. They're going to stick with him. The Mike McCagnon, I'm making a video about it. He loves Sam Darnold. He's going to stick with him. The Browns, they're going to stick with Baker Mayfield. They're going to get rid of the coach and not the quarterback. And the Chargers, this is probably my last one. They're going to look to draft a quarterback high in the first round. I think that the rest of the season isn't going to go well for them. They may go, again, a lot of things can change. They may go on a huge momentum swing, but I think they're going to be looking for the guy to replace Rivers in the new Los Angeles Coliseum. Give them hope. Cam Newton on this team, their offensive line was banged up this year. It's not really that great. Then their weapons are pretty good, but Cam Newton, Los Angeles, they may work. He has a personality, but I think most likely the Los Angeles Chargers are going to want to draft a quarterback highly next year. And I forgot to mention this. This is after I'm recording, actually. The Pittsburgh Steelers. They have Mason Rudolph right now, but I think since they signed Ben Roethlisberger to a couple-year extension, they're going to have to pay him. They're going to have to stay committed to him, especially since they don't have a first-round pick this year. I think that's the way they're going to go. Okay, now for my rankings, who do I think Cam Newton is going to go to? I think a team's going to look at the contract and be like, this is too good to pass up. He has too much talent, and we're a win-now team. He's a leader in the locker room. He's going to have a vengeance. He's going to want to go on a Super Bowl run. The top option, as much as I hate to say it, is the Bears. The Bears have Matt Nagy, who is going to be able to scheme up things with Cam Newton. They're going to be able to be so creative. And Mitch Trubisky is one of those white quarterbacks who feigns to be athletic and looks athletic, but really is not really that athletic. And Cam Newton's going to be able to do it. I mean, as long as Matt Nagy can scheme guys open, Cam Newton will hit them. He has enough pocket presence. He has enough good mechanics that he's changing his mechanics now. He's going to have a lot of reps with his new mechanics. Now he's getting thrown to the wolves. That's going to be a top option for the Bears. Number 2, I would say, is the Broncos, probably, because they're going to look to just try something different, like I said before. I really do think that. Number 3, I didn't mention them before, but it probably would be the Tennessee Titans. They have Marcus Mariota, they have Ryan Tannehill, and Cam Newton would probably be a good fit here. They have a pretty good defense, a growing up defense as well. You have a lot of talent. Byard. You have a great pass rush, especially with the guys they just drafted. And a decent enough offensive line. Conklin is probably going to be gone, but they have a great left tackle that can keep him healthy. And you have some offensive weapons. And we saw what could happen with a team with the Tennessee Titans like the Carolina Panthers did. You have enough talent with Cam Newton. He can string off a couple of wins. In this division, with Jacoby Brissett, Deshaun Watson, and Nick Foles, I think this division could be up for the taking, and the Titans could potentially make a huge move. So those are my top 3 teams. Obviously, a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen. For example, let's say Lamar Jackson gets injured and he's out. It's a career-ending injury, which I do not hope so for whatsoever. You can be like, oh, let's get Cam Newton because he's like a similar talent to Lamar Jackson. Our offense is already schemed around there, that sort of thing. And other than that, not a lot of teams are going to be looking to get a first-round quarterback. Get a Cam Newton or free agent quarterback, because they look at the draft and they're like, oh, look at all these great quarterbacks that we can have, and we can develop them. And a lot of bad teams don't really have a lot of good talent. Only the Bears, Broncos, Chargers, Titans, and maybe Minnesota are teams looking for a quarterback. I mean, the Raiders aren't looking for one. Their guy is Derek Carr, I believe. And I don't think the Falcons are even looking for a guy. Maybe the Buccaneers, but I think they have a lot more holes, offensive tackle, cornerback, that they need to solve. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. Where is Cam Newton going to go in 2020? Who's going to play for? My guess at this point is the Bears. That's the most obvious one. My guess is the Bears, and he'd be starting for them. And yeah, it would be kind of interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll talk more about it later as things develop and we can predict how the teams will do. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.